I'm going to walk you guys through all these tools now. I'm going to walk you guys through all these tools. Under this, we have a set of tools where you see, once you click on, you see a drop down icon. Once you see a drop down, you have the move tool. This here, the move tool. This tool is to move around the canvas, right? We also have the scale tool. The scale tool is an object on your canvas. I'm going to show you guys how to make use of the scale tool, right? In this class, I'm going to show you guys how to make use of the scale tool and the move tool. So the next tool here, once you click on it, we have the frame tool, we have the session tool, we have the slice tool. And mind you, in the course of your design, you might not necessarily be making use of most of these tools. You might be making use of the main ones, like the ones you're going to be use of, which are the basic ones, right? So on the frame tool, when you click on the frame tool, we have different frames that appear on your right hand side. We have the phone, the tablet frame, the desktop frame, the MacBook frame. You have the wire frame, the TV. So these are different frames you're going to design on, right? These are different frames you're going to design on. If you want to design on a desktop frame, you can design on a desktop frame. So let me click on the desktop frame. So I'll click on the desktop frame. Then it pops out on your canvas, right? So this is your desktop frame. Now, whatever design you're going to carry out is going to be done on your desktop frame, right? Mind you, you're not designing outside the desktop frame. Though you might do your rough work outside the desktop frame, but the major design you're going to be, all your elements you're going to be working with on your. We also have the not only the desktop frame. You go back to the frame section of it again. Click on frame. We also have uh, uh, the phone. Let's make use of the iPhone 13 and 14 frame. This is the iPhone 13 and 14 frame, right? We also have the iPad frame. We have the wristwatch frame. We have so many frames there you can use for your design. You know this Apple wristwatch uh, people use now? Yes, all these were designed actually. So in the process of this course, you guys are also going to learn how to make your designs responsive so that it can respond to every screen. What I mean by that is when just like when you open a website on your desktop, once you open it on your mobile, it responds, right? Once you open it on your iPad, it responds based on the width and the height. In in the line of this course, you guys are going to learn that. So mind you, the only thing I want you guys to know now is that this is different frames for your design. You can choose any of these frames you want to work on and put. So let me go back to this move tool. This move tool can be used to move your items. You can use this move tool to move this frame. Are you guys seeing my screen? See, I'm moving this desktop frame from one place to another. So this is one function the move tool does, right? So the scale tool also the same. You can use the scale tool to move, but the scale tool has an important function we are going to see in the course of this class. So there is something I want you guys to know. The moment we drew the desktop frame and the iPhone frame, it comes up here. We call here the design tree where you see everything you're doing. If I click on this iPhone here on the design tree, it's the iPhone is being selected. If I click on this desktop, the desktop frame is being selected, right? So anything you're carrying out on your Figma, be it a rectangle you draw here, it should show up on your design tree, right? So now We've talked about the frame. So let's talk about the next tool, which is the shape tools, right? We have the shape tools. So when you click on the shape tools, there are drop downs. There are drop downs. We have the rectangle, the line, the arrow shape, the eclipse, the polygon, the star, and the place. This place image is used for if you want to place an image into your Figma, you can use the place image. So let's draw a rectangle. You click on the rectangle, then you hold your mouse, then draw, right? We've gotten a rectangle, right? So there is something I want you guys to note. There's something I want you guys to note. When drawing a shape on your Figma, though in subsequent class, they will still explain this process for you. When you, for example, you click on a particular shape, the rectangle you want to draw, you see that the icon, the mouse icon changes, right? You hold down the shift key to draw. Why? Why do you hold down the shift key? It helps you have uh, a consistent width and height, right? Look at this rectangle I drew without the shift, without pressing down the shift key. You find out that the width is 1188 by the right hand side, then the height is 334, right? It's not consistent. In a situation whereby you want a consistent size, be it the width and the height, you hold down your shift key and drag it down, right? It gives you a consistent width and height. You can also use a shortcut R to draw your rectangle. You can also use a shortcut R to draw your rectangle. Then you can also do the same for the eclipse, the line. You want to draw a line and draw a line, right? So you can also make the line uh, thicker if you want. Don't worry, I know most of you guys will be anxious to know how to do all this. In coming class, you will learn more of this. You can also draw a circle. Mind you, when drawing a circle, if you want to have a consistent circle in terms of the width and the height, hold down the shift key and draw, right? This we didn't get a consistent width and height in this. If you look at it very well, you see that in this particular one now, we have a width of 286, then we have a width of 2 211. So mind you, in any shape you click, the options to edit these shapes appears on the right hand side, right? Look at this circle. This circle is not looking good now. So that's why you is needed to hold down the shift key when you draw these shapes. You see how this one is now? We have a consistent height and width, 213, 213, right? That's one aspect when you're playing around Figma, right? So there are different shapes here, different shapes, different shapes. So there is something I want to show you guys. If you want to edit shapes, for example, let me get this off. Let me get this off. So if you want to delete, you click on the item you want to delete and click on delete. If you want to bring it back, you press Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z bring back the elements you've deleted back to your Figma board, right? Ctrl Z. For example, you're designing and you made a mistake. You click on Ctrl Z to bring back the items, right? So let's delete this. Then let's also delete this. So if actually you want to edit shapes on Figma, uh, okay, that will come. Let me just finish up introduction of these tools. Then we have the shape tools. Then we have the pen tool. The pen tool really has nothing much. Just if you want to draw, make some shapes, some animations, can make use of the pen tools. Yeah. Though me, I rarely use this tool when I'm working on projects though. So you see what we're able to make? Yeah. So let's get this off. Then you can also make use of the pencil tool the same. If you're good with Photoshop, you should know how to make use of all this. You draw your stuff, then So you just play along and you get what you want. Once you're done, you click on enter, then you get whatever you want, right? So in here we have the pen and the pencil. So then we have the test tool. The test tool is if you want to write text on your Figma. If you want to write text, you click on it, then you write a text on Figma. Write a text on Figma. When you write a text, you can increase the size of the text to any size you want. There's the options. So, but with time, you guys will also learn how to edit text and also create a style guide, style library to work on your project, right? So that's for the text tool. Then this is actually for components, reusable components. Then this is also with time, you guys will make know what components are. Components are reusable elements you want to use on your design or on your project. For example, you created a button and you want to use it in different screens or in different, you don't need to, you just make it a component, but with time, you guys are going to be conversant with components. So then the next one is the plugins, right? The next one is the plugins. These are where you get icons you want to work with. These are where you can also get images you want to work with. You can also get a lot of things you want to work with here, right? As for that, then we also have the hand tool. The hand tool is to move around your Figma board. Once you click on it, you see it. You can move around. You can go to anywhere you want to go to. You can move around your Figma board. You can do things you want to do, right? That's for the hand tool. Then we also have the add comment tool. We also have the add comment tool. Like I said earlier on, Figma is a collaborative software, right? So, for example, if you're working with a group of people, right? So, for example, I am the UI UX design team lead. So, I have people I'm working with. So, whenever they are done designing, I come to check what they've done. If I find out that there are some little errors they make, I can use this comment to like, okay, in this, once I click on the comment, the icon changes, right? Then in that particular design I want to comment on, probably I wanted to make some corrections on, for example, this text now written here. I want the person that wrote this to make use of capital letter for the initial text, right? So I'll click on this text. Once I click on it, then a comment box comes up. Then I might even tag the person that I'm working with. I'll be like, okay, Kunle, please, please use capital or true. Let me say use capital letter or true. Click on enter. So once I click on enter, Kunle will get an email telling him that I've dropped a message on Figma pointing out a correction he has to make. If Kunle is not online, anytime he comes online, he will see it, right? So once Kunle comes in, he will on his own Figma board, then he will pop out here, he will read the message, then he will implement the correction I pointed out for him. Once he implements the correction, then he is going to click on uh, mark as resolved. You see it here, he's going to click here, mark as resolved. He might also reply me and tell me done. You can type done. Then once he has typed done, then he will click mark as resolved, right? So once he clicks marks as resolved, The comment will move away, and I'll also get an email that Kunle has implemented the correction I pointed out. So I myself will now have to come back to the board and see if Kunle has actually implemented the corrections, right? So that is for the comment too. Then if you now move over here, okay, now if probably this, if you find out the icon is still on the comment too, right? As new users, you might like, how will I get this comment to off? Maybe I want to select an image. You come here, you click on the move to, goes back to the default. So on how you click on the move to now is on default. You can select any other tools you want, right? Please, can you all hear me? Say something if you can hear me. Let me know that I'm not speaking to myself. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Okay, okay, perfect, perfect. So let's continue. Let's continue. So these are all the tools on Figma. So as time goes on, you will be able to understand how to utilize these tools to design products, digital products, right? So let's move on. If you also click on here, you will see these four items there. If you click on a particular element, you see these four items there. So these four items, the first one is to edit objects, right? So if I want to edit this rectangle, once I I click on it, I'll come here and click on edit object, right? I'll click on it. Then now I can manipulate this rectangle in whatever shape or form I want it to be, right? To be like. Take an example. You see, I'm able to manipulate this rectangle. See how I can manipulate this rectangle. So this is for that. Then when you're done, you click on enter, right? We've gotten this. Let me get this off here. So once you click on enter, see what we're able to create with the edit tool. This edit tool came out based on the recent Figma updates. If it was the former Figma, once you click on a particular shape, you put it on vector mode. There's what's called vector mode. Then once it's on vector mode, you can now edit your shapes. But now, once you just click on it, you can easily click on edit to edit the shape to whatever form you want it to be, right? So then you can now see, you come here, this is select matching layers. This might not be needed then for now. Then you create components. I've talked about components. Components are reusable items you want to reuse, right? You can make this a component, right? So when you make it a component, you can reuse it multiple times on your design, right? Just like most digital products you see, once you see a button, you might see like 10 buttons on a website or on a mobile apps when you're moving it from one screen to one screen. It's just one button that is being created. I just want to break down what component is all about for you guys. Uh, it's just one button that is being created, but it is being reused multiple times on the same project, right? It's not that the designer created like 10 different buttons. In this screen, he put this button. No, you just create a single button. Then it has different options whereby you can add an icon to it. So you can multiple times reuse that same button on your projects. So then with in your subsequent class, you guys will know how to make use of the creating the components. We have the mask used as a mask. So what is using as a mask? Okay, if you want to mask an item, let me give you guys a practical example of what I mean. Let me get another circle. Let me get another circle. Okay, Eclipse. So let me give it a red color. Let's give it a red color. Then, so I want to mask. Mind you, we're talking about masking here. I want to mask this uh, rectangle into this shape here. So what do I do? I will click on here. Yeah, I'm going to hold, uh, click on the circle. Then I'm going to also click on uh, the shape here. Then to click on mask, use as mask, right? As I click on mask, can you guys see anything? You find out that it's as if the both items have disappeared. No, it has not. It's still there. So let me show you guys something now. So once you're trying to move this shape outside the border of the distance, it forms this, right? Once you're trying to move it outside the border of the circle, it gives you different shapes, right? This is what masking is all about. You can also mask an image. For example, I know you guys are familiar with most websites. You see probably the an image masked in a circle. You can also mask an image in a circle, right? This is what masking is used for. Then this is for these two. Then let's move further. Then we come to here. You see an icon here. This showing my name, Noya, right? This is showing my name, Noya. So being that Figma is a collaborative tool, if I have 2 to 3 or 4 people working on my Figma file, all their names will appear here. As far as we are working the same time, right? All their names are going to appear here. So you see the number of people you are actually working with here. But for now, you're seeing only icon having only my name, Noya, right? So this is for this. Then if you move forward, you see the share button. The share button is when you've worked on your project, you're done with your project. Probably you want to show your project lead or the project manager. Okay, this is how the design looks like, right? So you click on share. Once you click on share, and options will pop out. Then now you can copy the link of this and send to whoever wants to see your design, right? Mind you, when you're copying this, you can either make this can view only or can edit. I hope you guys can see this. So I know when during the days I was learning design, it made me I was in most tasks I was given, I was scoring zero because when I share my link, instead of me to put it can edit because the mentor will want to like edit on my design to tell me the areas I did wrong and the areas I did right, right? So I will forget, then I only put it in can view. And most times these mentors will be like, "Ah, this one is not serious." They'll just move your link somewhere else and look for ones who are serious, right? So mind you, when you're sharing the link, for example, if you're asked to give an edit access, sometimes you might be asked to give an edit access, you put it can edit so that the person viewing this work can also edit on this work, right? Just like the comment too I talk about, the person might put a comment on a particular place you didn't actually do well. The person might okay, uh Victor, do this or do this, right? On that particular place. So, but if you're asked to only put can view, then you leave it at can view. So when you put it in any of these, what do? You copy the link, right? You're going to copy the link and send to the person demanding, right? So that's for that. You can also publish your design to the community. You can publish your design to the community, to the Figma community, right? So that's for share. Then in here, we have the play button to present your design. If you want to present your design, right? For example, if you're done with your design and you want to see how this design is going to be on a standard desktop or in a standard mobile view. So once you play it, you can see how this design is going to be, right? So then we also have the zoom. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. Normally, I hardly use this because I use the minus and plus button on my screen, right? I use the minus and plus button on my screen. There are Figma shortcuts I can use, right? So sorry for that. Then we also have the okay, let me talk about the design tree now. Let me talk about the design tree. In here, we have whatever you're doing on your canvas is being displayed here. If you're drawing a rectangle, if you're drawing a triangle, it's being displayed here in this design tree, right? In anything you click on this design tree, you're going to see it highlighted here, right? Anything you click on this design is going to see it highlighted here. So I want to show you guys if you actually want to tweak your UI, your layout a little bit. Like if you find out that this my layout is on dark theme, you can come here, click on preferences, then come down, click on theme, then you can put it on light theme. Right? You find out that the left hand side is now on white because I've changed from the dark to white, right? You can also change the background of your canvas by clicking here. This is where my mouse is. When you click here, you can change the background to whatever color you want, right? So you can actually customize uh, your Figma background to whatever color that suits you, right? You can customize to whatever color that suits you. But I do prefer a kind of light dark on it. Though it all depends on what I'm actually working on. So before I move into the tools we use to edit our items, I will leave the floor open for questions now and to see if we are actually following along. Let me go back here. Okay, okay. So,
Um, yeah. Well, can you hear me?
yes, I can.
Hey, Zoops. So, I have some people that are streaming from YouTube. So I'm going to, if they have a question, I'll just read it out for you.
Okay, okay, that's fine also. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, someone says, please, can you explain the masking tool? Okay, let's take that now. Let's go back to uh, our board. Let me explain the masking tool. So, uh, I'll try to break down the masking tool as possible. The masking tool is actually used, for example, if you want to place an image in a shape, right? For example, someone sent a full image and you only need the face or the head, just like the way we with the masking of this now, you find out that this has cut out some aspect of this rectangle, right? So those aspects you don't need, when you mask an item, it cuts it out, it removes it, right? To get what we actually want to use, right? So don't worry, in your subsequent classes, there will be like full classes on these topics that you're going to understand how you can implement all this, right? So any other question? Augustina, does that explain your questions now? Okay, when you mask an item, when you want to download image, will it not reflect? No, it won't reflect. When you mask an item, the particular one you're saying is what you are going to download. For example, this now, we mask this and we cut some part of this rectangle. So if I want to download this, it's only this rectangle this part I needed that will be showing, right? It doesn't show. It doesn't show. So don't worry. When we want to export, I will export when we get to that. But I just want to take some questions. I know some people has questions they want to ask for now. But what you should know that the part you mask is the part that will actually uh, you can download. Okay, if there are four people working on a project, how do they link up on Figma? Okay, that's a very nice question, Mr. Chibwe. If there are four people working on a project, okay, let's go back to this. So if I have people, maybe I got a gig whereby a brand says I should design a landing page for them. Uh, Maybe I need a helping hand, one or two people. So what I will do now is to copy. If these people are not even around me, I'll just come here. I'll go to share, right? I'll copy this link. I'll make it can edit, right? I can make it can edit. Then I'll copy the link and send to my teammates that want to work with me, right? I'll copy the link and send to my teammates that want to work with me. I can send it to them on WhatsApp. Once they open it, it loads out to their Figma. Listen, then they will now be on the same Figma board with me, right? So, right for that. Mr. Chubes, I hope I answered you. Okay, Augustina, yeah, thank you. Okay, for a newbie product designer who have exhausted the free version of the, let me get this question. For a newbie product designer who have exhausted the free version of Figma, okay, please, do I have to pay for the professional Figma to be able to work on Figma again? Because the free file has been exhausted. All right, Monserrat. The thing there actually, if you actually exhausted the free version of Figma, in the free version, we have three design files you can create in the free version. And mind you, let me show you guys some trick I use now when I was actually learning design. Let me show you guys some trick I use. So in a single Figma file, for this page, I created this page one now I created. I can work on three projects on this same page when I was using the free version, right? On this same page now, I can work on three files. Mind you, you can move around your canvas. You can be working on so many files at the same Figma page without even opening another page. So during the time I was actually learning, like I can work on two, three projects on the same page. The only thing there is that I will harmonize everything and know where each session is, right? If you're working for the normally the free version gives you enough. You can open three pages. I think yeah, three is more than not there about though, right? So that's just a trick I give you. So Most likely I've answered yours. Then Mr. Chibueze. Okay, I've answered Mr. Chibueze. Then uh what means okay. So I didn't get the edit and view only. Okay. The let's go back to the Figma board. Let's go through the edit and view only. Okay, so now let me explain that aspect because you guys will really be needing it. So in the edit and view only, uh now for example, this is our website. Let me just come up with something. Let's say we just come up with something here. Mm, so so maybe I just come up with something, then this is what I designed. Then I want to send this to my mentor, or I want to send this to probably someone that wants to see my design, right? Then I want to put it the in an edit mode whereby the person can point out some corrections. Once I've clicked on it, then I'll click on share, right? Look at this, but can you see my screen here? You click on share. Once you click on share, another pop-out comes out. In this pop-out now, if I want to give the person can view, the person can only view this file, this my website without adding any correction or without changing anything. Just view it and see if it's fine and score me. You can put it on can view only, right? But if I want the person to make corrections, like using the comment section, the comment tool to comment on it, okay, changes, I can put it on can edit. You can put it on can edit. So once I click on can edit, I will copy the link. Please, you all should take note of this. Once I click on can edit, I will copy the link, then I'll send it to the person. But if I want the person to only view this file without giving the person power to edit, I'll put it on can only view, right? So the person can only view without editing. Then once I put this can only view, I'll copy the mind you, anyone you put it to, you go back and copy the link. If I put it on can edit, I go back and copy the link. If I put it on can view, I go back and copy the link again because it changes based on the fact that the power you're giving to someone you're sending this link to varies, right? So if it's only can view, copy the link and send, right? So that is for that. Okay, where did I stop on the? Okay, great. I didn't get the data view. Praise God. Hope I've answered your question. Okay, Abigail, please can you give us a quick example of how to use the fig jam? Yes, we will. We will definitely. Then, what is the first step to take before working on the canvas? Okay, the first step to take before working on the canvas, for example, when you come to your canvas here, normally what I do, the first thing I do is to, based on the PRD I got from people I want to, if it's a company I'm working for, a company will give me a PRD. They call it Project Requirement Document. Then in that PRD, everything they need is stated there. They will also give me the kind of color they want. They also give me the type of sometimes they might give you the type of font they want. Sometimes you might be the one to present the form. So the first thing I do is to create a style guide, right? In your subsequent class, you all are going to carry out how to create a style guide before you design in a larger form, or how to create a design system, right? So the first thing you do is to set your layer. If you want to change your colors, anything you want to change, then you go ahead to create your style guide before you proceed to design, right? So, okay, so I didn't get the dates. Please, can you give us a quick example of to use it? Okay, I've talked about this. So, if you want to drag the shapes, Mr. Onyechi, I hope I've answered your question in terms of what's the first step to do before you're working on Canvas. So, if you want to drag the shapes, Is there any short key you can use on the keyboard? Okay, if you want to drag the shape, you can use the shape. You can use the scale tool or the move tool. Let me show you. For example, this is a rectangle. If I want to drag it, I can move it around with my mouse without even doing it. I can move it to anywhere I want to. For example, I'm designing for this. I can move it here. I can move it anywhere in my canvas. Like normally, if I'm designing, I design outside my desktop frame. Then once I'm done, uh, hello sir, please let me call you. Let me call you back, sir. Okay, okay. Let me take the next question. So, sir, if you want to drag the shape, is there any shortcut here? I've done that. So, in changing color, like the red you did, can we use more than one color? Yes, you can use more than one color, but in your subsequent classes, it will be when you'll be carrying out projects, you will be taught on color theory. There is what's called color theory. There's what's called color. You'll be taught on how to apply colors on your design, right? You'll be taught on how to apply colors on your design. Chimobi have answered that. Then, please, during the account setup, you chose multiple user. Okay, if you choose, uh, hold on. Please, during the account setup, you chose multiple users. If you choose just one, can still be changed to multiple users? Yes, Victor. Yes, you can still change it, right? When you were signing up, then you choose only one user. You can still change it and have multiple users, right? You don't even have to change it. Just people you want to work with, send them your link, give them an edit access. They will work with you there, right? So I think I've answered that, Victor. So okay, I like your calmness and pattern of speech. Good start. All right, all right. Thank you, Mr. Obina. Okay, good teaching. Can projects be grouped just like Photoshop? Okay, Clement, yes. You know, let me go back to the Figma board. Let me go back to the Figma. You say, can projects be grouped? Yeah, projects can be grouped. Like, initially I told you that I do carry out multiple, before I got the paid version I'm using now. So I do carry out multiple projects on this free version. So there's a way I group all of them. In this area, in this my design tree, I rename whatever I'm working on. For example, I can rename this to uh, let's say Esote landing page. You click on enter. Then once I rename it, you find out that the frame now has is no longer it now has Esote landing page. So I can group this under this grouping. Now you have this element on this, right? Different frames that I'm working on the design tree, right? I hope this answers your questions in terms of grouping. But if it doesn't, please just expatiate more on the question so that I'll be clear. Okay, let me take the next question. Please, can you go back to using the dark theme? Can projects be grouped? Yes, I've answered that. Please, can you go back to using the dark theme? Okay, using the dark theme. Okay, I should implement mine to the. Okay, okay, let me do that. Uh, the dark. Go to libraries, then go to the dark theme. So we're on the dark side. I think this is better. Sorry. So please, can you redo the design tree background color? Yes, I've done that now. Can I work offline after loading my Figma web page? Yes, Michael, you can work offline, right? After your Figma page have loaded, you can off your data in case you're trying to manage. It's just that once you off your data, your plugins will not be able to load, right? If you need a plugin you want to use to work on your page, it won't be able to load. So what you have to do is, as you're off your data, once you're done designing, on your data so that your what the changes you've made will automatically be saved on your design, right? Like I used to do that a lot when I was learning design. Once I start, it closes up. I'll off my data. Then when I'm done designing, I'll on my data so everything gets saved. We are managing data now, so that's the but you can do that, Michael. But preferably, if you have that, I can leave it on. Can I walk off after? Yes. Okay, Chibueze, thank you. You answered the question. One bottle of water for you. All right, oh, I'm expecting the water. All right. So thank you, sir. Please, can we get a recording of this session for revision? Definitely, you're going to get a recording of this class. You're going to get it. We are not done with the class. There's a lot of things I'm going to explain further, but I'm just trying to get feedback from you guys, then questions on so far. But rest assured that there is a recording. Then you talked about plugins. Is the sounds in an app or website be determined by the designer? You talked about plugins. Is the sounds in an app or website? Uh, Let me try and understand this question. Okay. The sounds in an app or website can be determined by a designer. What do you mean by the sounds and the in an app or website? You mean the videos you play or the songs you hear? Yes, you can as a designer. For example, if you're working in most of these uh firms, these firms might have videos they want to put on their design, that on the design you're working on. You can input those videos. It will play. It can happen in two ways. The developer on his own hand can input the video. The designer on his own hand can also input the video. I've worked on several projects whereby the company gives me videos or images and songs they want to input on their design. Yes, you can do that. You can do that. So you talked about plugins, the sounds on. So plugins are not sounds. Sorry, Benjamin. I'm just telling you about you can put in videos on your design. Plugins are like icons. Okay, let me load a particular plugin so you see what plugin is all about. So if I want to load a plugin, for example, I need a Facebook plugin, a Facebook icon plugin. What do I do? I'll click on plugins. Then there are a list of plugins. If there are not a list, I'll go on manage plugins, right? Then I'll select the plugins I want to. But let me use on hero icons for the sake of this class. I need a Facebook icon. Then I click on hero plugins. It loads up, right? Once it loads up, I'll search Facebook. It doesn't pop up. Then I'll search Twitter. It doesn't pop up. Let me use another plugin. Let me use material design icons. This is my go-to most time. So once I click on it, that is why I say if your data is off, these plugins will not load. So let me click on Facebook. Search Facebook, sorry. Let me search Facebook. And this is the Facebook icon, right? So I'll select it. If I want to work with it, I'll let it out, right? This is it now. This is it. Let me zoom in so you see it. This is the Facebook icon. If I put it on a website I'm working on or on any, okay, for example, follow us on our Facebook page, right? Then I'll put the icon there. So once the person clicks on the Facebook, it takes us to the company's Facebook page, right? So that's that for plugins. Uh, Benjamin, I think I've answered your question. Yes, it did clear me. Okay, thank you. Please, will a recording of this class be shared after the class? I couldn't join from the beginning of the class. Yes, a recording will be provided All right. So, any other questions? No other questions? Okay. Okay. I assume we are all good, so we can continue, right? Okay. Please, when it comes to putting your tools together like font before design, how do we do it? When it comes to putting your tools together like font design, like the font before, how do we do it? Okay, when it comes to putting your tools together, Abigail, let's go back to our this. So that's why I said before you design, you create a style guide. I don't want to go much deep because someone else is going to take classes on style guide and probably design system, right? So when putting fonts together, everything is done on the style guide, right? You're going to choose the type of font you're going to use for your design. For example, this let's create text with our text tool. Let's type this. Let's type this is a tutorial, right? This is a tutorial, right? Then uh, I can create a style guide with this font. Now you can increase the size of the font. You can also change the type of font. You can increase it, you can make it bold. You can also change the type of font you want, right? You can also change the type of font you want to whatever you want it to be. So you can just adjust the width of the font and the way you want it, right? So that is for font. That's why I said when the class on style guide comes, once they are taking it, you're going to create styles, different styles on fonts you're going to be using. Even the color, you're going to create style guides on color. Color. That's why after they've taken you guys on color theory, then they will show you guys how to create different styles on colors you're going to be working with. Talking about the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, right? So that is for that. I think I've answered your question. This is when it comes to putting your Abigail, I've answered yours. Yes, yes, right on. So I'm enjoying the class. I'm also enjoying you there. All right, and colors. So sure, let's go on, sir. Okay. Thanks for the training. Okay. So in the absence of no question, let's move on to the next. All right, so let's go back to our Figma board. So now, this is our Figma board, right? Let me zoom out. So you see how we were able to change the name of our frame. So in this aspect now, if you're working with different screens, right? For example, this is the landing page. You duplicate. If you want to duplicate, you Control D, right? Once you Control D, it duplicates that frame. You can duplicate that particular frame, right? Control D to duplicate a particular frame. You can also Control D on this to duplicate a particular frame, right? So if, for example, this is the landing page, I can say this is the login screen, right? So mind you, when you're designing, it's very important to rename your frames to whatever you're working on, right? Rename your frame just the way I renamed this to landing page. This is our landing page. Then I rename this to login screen, right? Rename your page. So please, I want you guys to note something. It is very, very important, right? When you are designing, when you are designing, please never increase the width of your frame. Never increase the width of your frame when you're designing. What do I mean by that? Let me show you guys. Let's take this off. So, when you click on a particular frame, for example, you're designing a website. This is the frame, your website frame, right? This is the setup, this is the width, this is the height, right? So what I mean now is never increase the width. Like this is the width now. Increasing this, never, don't try increase the width of your frame. It is not done. In fact, it is an abomination design, right? But you can increase the height, right? These are things you should know. I think during more, they will still explain more of this to you in your subsequent classes, right? So you can increase the height. You can draw this down, right? You can extend frame just like your website. When you log into your website, you can be scrolling down on your website, right? But you can never change the width because the width are always fixed, right? The width of your website are always fixed, right? So never increase the width, but you can extend the height to as far as your design keeps going, right? From your header to your footer, keep increasing it till you get to what you want, right? So now that is for that, for the frame. I hope that is clear. Okay, I'm seeing something here. Okay, all right, so let's go back. So that's for that. So when you're designing, actually rename all your files to what you're working on. Rename all your files to what you're working on, right? Very important. So now let's go back to the setup, the screen on our right hand side, where we have all the setup of any element we are working on. For example, let me get this frames out. Let me just leave a particular frame here, a particular rectangle. Then, for example, when you click on this rectangle, these are the setups of the rectangle, right? These are the setup of the rectangle, the frame. We have the width, we have the height, we have the rotation, right? You can rotate it to whatever angle you want it to be it 45, whatever angle you want it to be. You can keep rotating it 80, right? So that's that. We Control Z to go back how it was before, right? Control Z to go back how it was if you made a mistake. Then this is the corner radius. If you want to adjust the shapes of your rectangle to curve them, it is being done with the corner radius, right? So the corner radius, you can, once you click on it, you have different sizes of this rectangle. For example, I want to make all the sizes 8, right? I'll click here, the corner radius 8, make this 8, make this 8, make this 8. Then click on 8. So if you look very well, you will see that this shape now have some curves in each edge, right? This shape, some curves in each edge. That's what corner radius can do, right? That is what corner radius can do. So there is that. So now we have the clip content. With subsequent class, you learn about this. Then the auto layout. Okay, in subsequent class, auto layout is, let me not go into this because this is a full course on its own. How to make use of auto layout is a full-blown course. So it's something whereby it might take a whole week learning because auto layout makes your design simple. It's, to me, is auto layout is always my best friend in designing because it simplifies it's anything I'm trying to do, it makes it works out perfect. Then we now have the constraint, right? This constraint to be used majorly when you're trying to make your design responsive, right? You can place items in left and right, In subsequent class, you're going to learn how to make design responsive. What I mean by responsive is making your design to respond to different devices, be it a desktop, a mobile, an iPad, whatever device it is. Like that is why when you log into your website on your mobile, you can log into your phone, you can log into your iPad. Yes, such designs are called responsive designs, right? Fine. So then we move out to layout, pass through. You will learn about this in subsequent classes. Then you're also going to the color theorem. So I told you guys about the color theorem, right? This color theorem is a full topic on its own. Like I know of designers who find it very difficult in applying colors, knowing the kind of colors they are going to. I know you guys are going to have that issue because me, when I was learning, I actually had that issue of finding the right color to use, right? I even have to pick a course on just color theorem alone. That's when I came to learn that okay, if you're designing a fintech app, there is a particular set of color you should use that's related to fintech. If you're designing an agro website, be it agro, agricultural, there is a particular set of color. If you're using an edu website, be an educational website, there is a particular. So you all are going to learn this during the color theorem, how to apply colors and know the right colors to use. Then we have the strokes. The stroke is going to add some strokes to your design. For example, let me create something now. Then I'll make it a stroke so that you can see how you can apply this. Let's create a button. This is a button, right? I just want to show you guys, right, on how to, let's just create button. Let me show you how the stroke stuff work. Let's make it an auto layout. Shift A. Don't ask, you don't get confused on this because you guys are going to take classes on auto layout and creating buttons with auto layout, right? But I just want to like briefly. So now I've created, so I want to add a stroke to it. I click on the plus icon beside the stroke. If you can see my screen, right? You've seen it. It has given the button a stroke already, right? It has given the button a stroke already. Then if I want to now adjust the settings of the auto layout, this is another class entirely, but let me just quickly come up with something for this so that uh 16, right? Let me use 22, 22, right? Let's make it look more like a button. Despite the fact it's a training class, then let's make this. So if you see now, you find out that the stroke color helps gives this button, makes this button. You know, there are some websites you see a button with stroke, right? Stroke around it, not a fully blown button. Let me duplicate this and show you guys, right? So one, I want to make a field button and a stroke button so you guys will understand the stroke aspect of what I'm talking about, right? So let's remove this stroke here. We close it. If you want to close the stroke on this, you close. Then you open your fill, right? Then you give it the color you want, right? Now we have a stroke button and a field button, right? That's the application of what I'm talking about, right? So that's for stroke. Then let's go back to okay, let's continue. Then the stroke, I've talked about this. So even when you guys are creating style guides, you also have to create uh, uh, what do they call it? Button components, right? You also have to create button components. Then in here, you can also export, uh, for example, you can also export your design to your device, right? You can also export your design to your device. You can also export your design to your device, right? In here, export. So these are all the things you will have to manipulate uh, in your Figma UI if you want to design. Mind you, uh, this is used for your UI design. Then FigJam is used for your UX design. Tomorrow we are going to talk about how to use FigJam. I'm going to just the way we took the process of the design aspect of this, the FigJam aspect. We are going to talk about how to use. Mind you, uh, all are in the same Figma, right? So this is for this. So this is your design tree. Let me recap all I've said so far. All these are your design tree. Anything you're designing on your file
Hi
appears
there.
here.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
No, yeah?
sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry to cut you short. I have sent some questions from the YouTube channel, so you can please just look at them to
Okay,
go
all
over.
right. All right, let me do that now. Okay. So, sir, please, after clicking on the comment icon, how do you go back and continue your design? And also, how do you delete an element? Okay, after you click on the comment icon, for example, let's go back to our design file. For example, I click on the comment icon, then I put and I drop a comment. Please change this. Please change this to something better, right? Let's assume I'm the design team lead. Then I'm telling those that I was okay, change this to design. Then I click on enter. Once I click on enter, the message is there already, right? Then I come to here where I have my move to. Then I click a drop. Then I click on move. It changes my icon automatically. So once I click on move to, I can select any other tools here and use, right? As for that, then let's go back. Then, okay, so please, after clicking on the comment section, okay, if in any way mistakenly increase the width, how can you correct it? Okay, if probably you're working on your desktop screen, you mistakenly increase the width, it's as easy as simple. You press on Ctrl Z to go back to the width you were before. Let me show you. Normally, the normal standard desktop screen, the width is always 1440 by 1114, right? So for example, let me increase this now, the width to 1540, right? Once I click on Ctrl Z, I realize that I mistakenly increased the width. I click on Ctrl Z, it takes me back to my default, the last previous, right? To 1440. That's for that. Then please can we reduce the width? Jennifer, like I said earlier on, do not you can increase the height of your you just like okay, let me give you a real life example now. Can you increase the width of your laptop? No. But while you are scrolling down, you can scroll down on your website, right? That is what I mean by you can't increase the width. This width here, this is the width. You can increase the width of your frame, but you can increase the length. Because when you're browsing on your laptop or on your mobile, you do scroll down, right? You do down. So you can increase the length and keep designing, right? You can increase length and keep designing, right? But do not increase the width, right? So that's for that. I think I've answered that. Then question two. Jennifer, I've answered you. So please, how do you group elements in Figma? And also, how do you click multiple layers on Figma to send to your mentor? Okay, first of all, let me take how do you group elements, right? So you come here, for example, let's say, uh, let me zoom in so you see my screen properly. So I want to group these two buttons together. Let me resolve this. I want to group these two buttons together. Let me say, okay, let me just write this tutorial, right? Please read more. So let me say I want to group these two items together. I'll hold on this, then click on this, press Ctrl G, right? The two are being grouped together. So I can move the two items together, right? I can move these two items together, right? You can also do that using the Figma auto layout. Like in most of my projects I've worked on, practically auto layout has been my best tool so far, right? So you can use Control G, but one thing I won't advise you to do is grouping items. Instead, use auto layout to group, right? In my experience working with developers, most times, especially if it's a new developer, they might find it hard trying to like uh, get items they want to use when you group them. But once you use auto layout, like most developers love it when you auto layout your components, right? They find it more suitable, like working with it. Because one, you don't want to design something the front guy will find it hard writing codes on, right? So you want to make your design as simple. The only thing I will tell you guys as much as it depends on you, avoid grouping items. It's best to use auto layout, right? It's best to use auto layout. So what other question there? So okay, and also how do you click multiple layers on Figma to be able to send to your mentor? Okay, when you talk of multiple layers to be able to send to your mentor, for example, this is your canvas here. Everything, once you click on share, once you come here, you click on share, you're sending this canvas to your mentor.
Hi, Noya, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, let's give your mentor, your facilitator a little while. I think his network went off. So, before your facilitator comes back, I would like to mention that this is just an overview of Figma and what you can do with Figma. You're still going to have classes on all these concepts. So don't get overly worked up and don't don't just don't get too fixated, all right? You're still going to have classes on all these topics that he's mentioning, all these things that he's mentioning. So just relax, learn the layout of Figma, learn what you can do and what you cannot do with it. And then by next week, you're going to have in-depth classes on all these concepts. All right. Okay, Noya, you can unmute. Okay.
Okay, sorry, I had a network bridge. Okay, all right, all right. Can you all hear me? Azus, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, my network. Sorry, guys. So the question screens are out. I can't get the questions anymore. Uh, I don't know, Zooms. Can I get the questions so that I can actually attend to them? I can see the
Yes, let me
question.
resend.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
resend.
All right. Hope the generator noise is not disturbing this class. Let me know if I'll
No,
move out of this room.
no, it's not. So I've
Okay.
sent the question.
All right. Okay. All right. So please, can we have access to the training video? Where did I stop? Where did I stop? Okay. Okay. It says, sir, please, I didn't get the about stroke. I think you'll get that in subsequent classes. Okay, sorry, my network was on. That's why you guys can't hear me, but I think it's good now. Okay. If someone says auto layout is difficult, please can we have a class on auto layout? Yes, you're going to have a special class on auto layout, right? You're going to have a special class on auto layout. Overview, thank you, gracias, thank you too. Okay, no one key naira for DM. Okay, yes, ma. I don't even know this name. I don't even know. Is it my name? Okay, my name is Noya. Noya. Okay, please can we have access to the training video? Yes, you get access to this video. Uh, please increase your voice. Okay, let me increase my voice more. All right. Please don't blame me. This is how I talk, oh. But I'll try and be loud now. Okay. So please, after clicking on the comment icon, how do you go back and continue the design? So I've shown you guys that. I've shown you that. You click on the select tool. So please, how do you group elements on figures? How do you click? I've done that. What is a landing page? Okay. On your subsequent class, you'll be taught what a landing page is. But one thing I will let you know is that a landing page is the first page you see when you click on www dot whatever website you're visiting. The whole items there is your landing page, right? So how can you design outside the frame and how did the color of the background? And okay, I've done. You can change the color of the background. You can also design outside your desktop frame. When you're done, you bring it back to your desktop frame, right? Can you group, place, and auto layout on the content? Can you group and place an auto layout? Right. Okay. There will be a class on grouping and auto layout. Uh, auto layout is one of my favorite when I was learning design. One of my because I was like, you can create magic with auto layout. That's one thing I do tell my students. Like, you can. I don't think there's anything impossible as far as you know how to make use of auto layouts. That's just the right word. I don't think there's anything possible as far as you know how to make use of auto layout on designs. Okay. Can you group and place an auto layout? Have answered that. Can you group? Okay. Can you can see your screen? Okay. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Can you go? Can be seeing my screen now? So I don't know how to duplicate files. Once you click on a particular file, you click on Control D, right? Control D, it duplicates it. Control D, it duplicate. You can see my screen now. I'm not showing just the this thing. Those of us having issue with hearing properly, please uh, try to use earpiece or AirPods. I hear him better with this earpiece, especially if you're okay. All right. Augustine says you guys should try and get an earpiece so you can hear me clearly. All right, thank you. What's the difference between auto layout and grouping? Okay, it's like you guys want me to go deep into this auto layout. I can't go deep because I'm another facilitator will take you guys on auto layout and grouping, right? The only thing I want you guys to know is that they do similar thing, but auto layout does it more perfect, right? Auto layout, each of them have their own things they are good at, but in most cases, I do prefer. Okay, let me show you an example of something. Uh, for example, let's say, let me draw a circle. Then let's say this is an image. Then this is the person's name. I just want to show you a simple, basic example, right? So this is an image. Then this is the person's name. Then I want to put image and the person's name together, right? Let them be together, just like, okay, just like you see on you see your a job profile board whereby you see the person's image and you see his name together. Then I'll click on hold this, and click on Shift A, right? This is the auto layout. This is what we hold them together. So it does similar thing with what grouping does, but the only thing I will say to you is that auto layout does it more professional, right? Auto layout though grouping has its own aspect where is also good when you're working maybe on a landing page, then you see a kind of uh, items there, then they come together, they mix together and stuff like that. So don't worry, in your subsequent classes, you guys will get a clearer picture of this. Can you group and place an auto layout on the content at the same time? Yes, you can be working on a project, you can group a particular item on a project. Maybe you can be working on that same project. You might use auto layout for, can I use auto layout to create my buttons in most of the things I do, like most times they call me the auto layout man because it makes my design very easy and as far as you know how to make use of it. That's why I told you guys is a very when they are taking the course, you just have to pay rapt attention so you pick how to make use of auto layout. Because once you know how to make use of auto layout, actually, it actually solves close to 70% of your problem, if not 80, on design in terms of UI. Okay, okay. Please, can I find out that? Okay, duplicating. Control D, yes, I guess auto have redirection context. Control D. Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll be creating magic. Yes, I can't wait to see your magic. Oh. Please create magic, please. Okay. All right. So uh in absence of no other questions, yes, auto layout helps place direction to your contents. Yes, you're right. You're right. It helps place direction to you. It helps you place them where you want them to be. Right? That is what it does. So all right. So in absence of no questions, I don't know. Uh Tomorrow we'll be going through Fig Jam, right? So one thing I do love, you guys can practice because one way to learn fast is practicing, right? That's one way to learn fast. You can do even with the little, you can go through the though a video will be sent across to you guys about the interface of Figma in addition to this class. The video will be sent across so you can grasp and understand how to navigate the Figma UI so that you won't be confused in any area you are on Figma, right? A video will be sent in addition to this class. Okay. So uh tomorrow class we'll be talking about Fig Jam. So I'll be walking you guys through what Fig Jam is used for, how you can brainstorm on Fig Jam, how you can carry out your your user personnel, your information architecture, your brainstorming. I will walk you guys through how you can carry all that on your Fig Jam. So I don't know if, in absence of no questions, Zooms, I don't know if you're still on the call.
Yes, I am. So, if you don't have any other questions to take, we can end the class here. And then tomorrow you continue with Fig Jam.
All right. All right. So guys, nice to have you all here. I believe you all enjoyed the class, and this is a very fine step you all have taken, right? This is a very fine step. I'm happy to be taking this class with you guys, and I hope you all continue in this. I'll be signing out. My name is Noya. Nice to meet you all. You all have a wonderful evening wherever you're joining from. Thank you all. Zeus, I'll hand over to Zeus to take over. All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Noya. Thank you so much. So,
All right.
okay, so guys, thank you very much for coming out for today's class. For those of you on YouTube, I'm really, really sorry that you had to join on YouTube. All right. We're going to try as much as possible not to let this go beyond this week. All right. I'm going to make today's class available to you tonight so that for those of you that came in late, you'll be able to watch the replay, and you'll be able to follow and prepare for your class tomorrow. So I would advise all of you to, if you don't have an account on Figma yet, now is a good time to open an account on Figma, try your hands at a couple of things that Noya has taught you, and go through your notes if you made any notes, all right? The videos will be made available to you tonight, okay? So, no, you do not need to write names. Please don't worry about attendance. Attendance is taken care of, all right? I get a report from Zoom of the people that attended, which is why I specified or specifically asked that you change your names once you join the call. If you do not change your names, I will not be able to identify you, and I'm not going to give you an attendance score, all right? So that said, good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.